What is going on, everybody? We are back once again with another edition of Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast. I'm your host today, Clark Taylor, and I hate to let the people down. It is not good afternoon, wrestling fans. Not today. Ben is at home doing his thing on his own. He'll get that figured out. Absolutely. We got aloha, everybody, from Sean Ellis. Yes, sir. And what's up, everybody, from Fernando? What is going on, everybody in the chat already? Hello, number one Superfly. Thank you so much for joining. I've got a wicked cast with me here on a Wednesday, and you know what that means. I'm going to introduce them out of the gates. It may be a Wednesday and not a Tuesday, but I haven't seen the Tuesday Night Delight since last week. I didn't even get to see him on Tuesday. Shoddy, how have you been, my friend?
Oh man, what's going on, Clark? Yes, I had to take a well-deserved. I won't even call it a rest evening. I had daddy duties yesterday, so I wasn't able to do off the air. But I will be back on our regular scheduled program next week, and it's good to be here with you, man. I'm excited for Wednesday News Day. I'm mostly on shows that are reviewing for shows, so to freelance and talk about regular topics today, I'm here for it. So let's get to it.
Absolutely. I'm stoked about it myself, too. It's also an AEW Wednesday, so we can't cover AEW without this guy from across the pond. He happens to host the Soul Sessions. And so I just gave away his name, but Soul's in the building as well. What's going on, my friend? How are you?
Hey guys, yeah, we're in that day of the week. Yeah, no, it's a fun day. Things have been good for me. Tired, knackered, preparing for a lot of stuff that's coming up here, especially in the Scottish scene for the next month or two. So that's going to be a bit of fun. I'm knackered, I'm tired, but we have a lot of topics to cover, a lot of things that a lot of people like, don't like, but I'm sure we'll have a fun discussion nonetheless. So Clark, take us right into it, my friend.
Let's jump into it. I'm stoked about it. Absolutely. I mean, this is an interesting one because we have vetted this one for months. If we've beat a dead horse, I'll tell you what, it's this one. Ray Fenix has officially been removed from the AEW roster. Oh my goodness. It's as if we didn't see it coming. I had no idea. I couldn't believe it. I thought he would be a lifer at this stage of the story. So, I mean, yeah, the one more chip fell in the process of Ray Fenix moving on from his AEW contract and moving on to likely a WWE contract. Probably the least surprising thing we've ever seen. Yeah, we've got Kay Wasson with I wonder if Ray Fenix will join WWE or TNA. Woof. Woof. What a question. No, he's gonna join WWE. Let's be honest, my friends. Ray Fenix is joining WWE.
Oh man, the good folks at NWA, they might win their bidding
Ha!
war.
I'll tell you what. They talk about the green flash when it comes to the sunset on the West Coast. I've never actually seen it. I'm not even sure I believe in it, but this is the closest thing I've seen to the green flash when it comes to Ray Fenix. He's absolutely going. He's going to WWE. That is just a fact in my eyes. So I'm going to actually start with you on this one. What are your thoughts on the future for Ray Fenix? Does he immediately come in as Penta's tag team partner? Or does he? I almost said Penix, like Michael Penix Jr., the quarterback for the. You were afraid of a different one. It was with an X. I was thinking the left-handed quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. Shad, okay. So just take your pause and relax. But does Phoenix immediately team with Penta upon his upon his arrival in WWE? If I keep getting tongue-tied, this could get ugly out here. Soul, save me.
Yeah, buddy, don't worry. So here's the thing, right? I immediately will discuss about this whole free Ray Fenix thing, right? Like, okay, his role in AEW was tag, trios, and occasional bangers of singles matches. He fulfilled the role. Didn't want to be in that role anymore. Okay, cool. But with a lot of the snippets we've heard backstage of people saying, I'm going, bye bye, ha ha ha, and the whole contract thing we've discussed, AEW are in the right to do things. I remember Fenix was saying, he was untreated, like didn't get proper medical attention, and now that's gone nowhere. So he's probably just lying, or unless something has, just been buried deep and he hasn't bothered to go legal means of that. That's on you. And people then spouting like, he's being treated unfairly. He's like the dude's getting paid, right? there are people who can't do things on a monetary level. They can't eat their homes or get food. This guy just had to sit at home and not do flips and get paid. So there's no real sympathy on that from my part, honestly, 100%. But in WWE, the only problem is that Penta's really taking off on his own. Do you want him to put into a lesser division like the tag team division? No offense, because what we've seen from presentation wise, it is lesser. I wouldn't, because he's selling merch like crazy. He's over with the fans. He's already in a program. You wouldn't take him off that. What I would do is I would give him give Penta the Intercontinental and do a brother versus brother feud. If you're going to get anything out of that, we know we've had Penta in the past become Pentagon Oscuro or Pentagon Dark from Lucha Underground and AEW. Why not flip it and do a Dark Ray Phoenix storyline? Have it be flipped. Let that work out. It could be a good story for the Intercontinental. Phoenix will get a good introduction as a heel. It could be a very interesting opportunity for him to go for. He's not going anywhere else. He's going with his brother. The Lucha Bros will reunite because they'll probably do Lucha Bros versus New Day or Motor City Machine Guns or Bloodline. They will do matches with the two of them together. But right
Yes.
now, it's finding out which role best suits Phoenix and obviously which role best suits Penta.
Right.
And here's the thing as well. People probably from the AEW side will just be like, oh, wait, he'll be on Speed like Dragon Lee. But like at the end of the day, Speed's just another programming. There's another eyes on the product. I don't use Twitter. I hate Twitter in every aspect of fabric of my being. But at the end of the day, it gets a lot of views. There's eyes on the product. Yeah, I know the Speed belt isn't shown on normal TV, but it's still performing.
Right.
He's still showing
Um,
his craft. So if people want to moan online that, oh, he's on Speed, well, hey, he's on Speed and he's on a WWE contract. So hey, I would take that job. I ain't gonna complain.
that's easy. I agree, but one thing you brought up that I found really fascinating was about debuting Ray Phoenix as a singles competitor, and I think that is interesting. There's a lot of comments here that are actually in agreement here. Over on Instagram, talking about putting him on the opposite brand so Penta can stay by himself. I think of the two, and this might be controversial, and I'm going to toss this to you, Shad, but I think of the two, Ray Phoenix is actually the better singles wrestler. As good as Pentagon is,
In
as good
ring
as
wise,
Penta has always been,
I agree
I
with
have
you on that.
long maintained through this entire process, I still truly believe if you have to pick one luchador style wrestler on the entire planet right this second, that's the best one, it's Ray Phoenix.
I would
I think
choose
Ray
Penta.
Phoenix is just athletically more capable than Penta. I think they're both great. I think they're both great. And I think they're both really good characters. But Ray Phoenix can do so much bell to bell that Penta can't athletically.
What I would quickly say to that is though, who's been injured longer because of their particular style? Yes, it's a high flashy
That's fair.
style. Here's the thing: it's a style people like. It gets across well and all that. But
Right.
Fenix has been injured so many times from so many things of doing
100%.
of dangerous flippy moves. Penta has a look that
And that's
sells
fine.
absolute merch with the masks.
But
He's over. I would, if
right.
I'm building a
But I'm asking
roster.
Shad though on this one
Just saying. I'm just saying. If
this
you
really
want to
quickly.
me, I'm just saying.
So,
So yeah,
Shadi, I want to get your
got you,
thoughts
so
on Ray
we
Phoenix
got
versus
it.
Penta as single stars, or
We
do they
got it.
debut as a tag team?
They won't be at Revolution this weekend, so it's okay. Not just messing around. I think that first and foremost, when we talk about the schematics of what happened behind the scene with his contract, whether they were holding him hostage and what a lot of people like to call Guantanamo Bay, or was he actually, not being, feasible, being honorable to his contract? All of that is besides us. We're past that bridge, right? He's gone. He didn't want to be there. They honored it. They released him. Great. Now, what's next for Ray Phoenix? Now, if we're talking about him on the landscape going into the WWE, I don't disagree with Clark on the standpoint that Ray Phoenix is a better luchador than Penta. I think he, garners the style of the lucha libre wrestling, the high flying, all of that. He's one of one. He is closer to a Rey Mysterio than a Pentagon is. But Penta does fit the mold of WWE off the standpoint of he's got the look, he's got the swagger, all of that. They care about that a lot. And my fear is that people will, lean towards Penta if they do make him go singles ways. Time is of the essence. You can sign him. You don't have to put him in to the main roster or anything out the gate. Like, that's just true. You can sign him. You can put him on the shelf for a little bit, let him get acclimated with the WWE, go to the PC, all of that, and then debut him as a unit, because I think the best nature of it is them as a tag team. And I know that the tag team division is not super strong right now, but it's making strides of getting better. And what's a better way to make the tag team division matter than giving us one of the best tag teams in the world, giving us a fresh, competitors in the division. Penta's over. You put anything tied to Penta, people are going to care about it. Now you add his brother Ray Phoenix, the Lucha Bros, to it. We all knew who they are. You know what I'm saying? Wrestling fans are not that blind to it. I think that's the shot in the arm that WWE needs for the tag division, because I'm not letting tag team wrestling die. I'm sorry. It matters a lot. We need it to matter. We need plug-and-play players that can make it matter.
I hear you, and here's my biggest fear. And let's dive into this conversation now, all three of us, really quickly, because that's why I just wanted to make sure that you had your time there too, Shad, because I agree with a lot of what you said. And here's my fear, though, that I do want to present. My fear is if you do debut them both separately as single stars, they get so over, a reunion doesn't matter as much as it should.
Yeah.
That is the biggest fear I have. But at the same time,
if
Ray
they're
Phoenix
both
is
over,
so dang good singles wise.
Now, if they're both over,
tough.
That's not a bad problem to have. Then,
yeah, it isn't. I don't know.
Stars.
Obviously, we talked about the injury stuff before I toss it to you. So when it comes to that, do you think that, obviously you've given the nod to Penta over Ray Phoenix, given that factor, do you think that's something that's going to hurt him in WWE, or do you think the style change when it comes to the WWE wrestling, as far as more camera centric, a little bit less fast paced, do you think that'll affect the way that Phoenix wrestles and affect his health?
It possibly could. He's not going to be like in AEW where he's jumping on the top rope and doing moonsaults outside and all this crazy flips and all that. He will have to slow way down, right? And the thing with Penta is Penta was never that kind of style. He was universal, I would say. He could do so many types of styles, but Fenix was always high flying, taking big risks for the big show off moves that would do good in a montage. If anything, maybe put him in NXT just so he can learn to lower his style down. I don't think he needs to learn camera angles or all that. He's been on AEW, he's been on Impact in the past and Lucha Underground. He doesn't need that learning aspect, but maybe just to learn to slow down his style, do catering to a new style. Possibly, I think it will be the best for him in the long term if he wants to be given the longevity in the company that he wants to wrestle for. So I hope he does that for his personal sake. The only thing is, though, I can imagine is if Penta and Fenix get so over, why stick them in a division that doesn't get the amount of time and clearly respect from creative?
That's a division that matters. Like
tag
team wrestling.
But if
I'm everybody back up. Everybody back up. I have to address one point. Everyone stop. I'm hosting the show. Everyone pause. Okay. Here's my issue I have with what you said. I do not believe Ray Phoenix is in a position in relation to Penta where he would be sent to NXT and Penta would be sent to the main roster, and that doesn't negatively affect the little brother who's basically been on the same level the entire length of both of their runs outside of the WWE. I think that's unfathomable. Like, I hear where you're coming from for work.
Hang on. They've never really been on the same level. Penta's always been more than Fenix. Fenix has been an Impact World Champion. He's done stuff in Lucha Underground as well. He's won Lucha Underground
He's
Gold.
Older brother. He's been around longer.
Yeah, cool, but he's still got the bigger accolades. Like, no offense. Like, here's the thing, though. If I'm a businessman, right, and my wrestlers, I want them to make profit on merch and showtime and give them the time, and I see what the tag team division is, it's not been given the time. It rarely. Come on, they were defended on the titles were defended on the Royal Rumble, and they hadn't been defended all of 2024 besides WrestleMania, right?
But that has nothing to do with the Lucha Brothers. That's who we're talking about.
On TV. But what I'm saying is, when other superstars are on those kind of levels, getting pay-per-views, advertising their merch all the time and all that, and that's going to affect business, I want them to be in the division that's going to bring me the most money as a company. Tag team division isn't bringing me the most money, right? It will be Penta in
No,
a single star where
no,
his
not right.
mask. I'm just saying that's my personal point.
No, I
Like,
completely disagree.
I think
if I want
it's
money, I'm
short
putting in a
selling
single division.
Phoenix a little. I think it's short
No,
selling Phoenix is like, thing is this: if you sign him, you're signing them as the act. That's the Lucha Bros. Like, you're not signing the Hardys for Matt and Jeff to do
Yeah,
single
but
stuff at this standpoint. You know what I'm saying? Like,
is it?
it can
Here's the thing.
gradually happen, but
Here's the thing: is Penta's stock affected by his brother not being there? No, it's not.
no.
He doesn't
is
need his brother.
Phoenix's stock being affected by him not being there too, though? I mean, wait a minute. This is a more complicated equation than just like how it affects Penta, because Phoenix's stock has been affected by the fact that he couldn't debut alongside of him. There's no debate about that.
He got paid. He's still making money.
I've said that for months.
That's a separate conversation.
We're now talking about the fact that he's been removed from the roster and he's gonna debut. In some regard, I don't think that necessarily needs to be punished further.
All I'm saying is he's not going to go into the tag team division right away. Maybe in a year's time, so they can do that with the Lucha Bros.
The reunion would be cool.
Yeah, it'll be a cool thing. I think they should do a heel versus face storyline between the two brothers if they want them both on the main roster. Do that. It would sell tickets. It'd be a good feud. But all I'm saying is Penta's already now integrated himself in the mid-card scene within WWE, especially in
that could
Continental.
work. Totally.
You are not going to whip him out immediately when he's already into something. If they do, that's bad creative and a shotgun booking, right?
And that's honestly what I said too. I said that you don't just because someone is signed doesn't mean they have to be on the show right out the gate. You can have them benched for a little bit till the time is right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, unless Penta is for sure winning an IC title or something like that, okay, fine. I understand we can get to that level. But, like, I also think there's a level of him wanting to work with his brother as the Lucha Brothers. Like, that's his, like, that, like, he was, you see how hurt he was that he wasn't able to get out of his deal when he was out so they can go debut together. Like, it's part of that is, like, you're not signing Rey Fenix just because you're signing Rey Fenix. You're signing both of these guys as an act together. Now, how Penta got over this quickly, that's kind of a happy accident. I don't think anybody expected him to be this over this quickly, but the fact that he's this over helps his brother in the process. Now, at that point, you add them together, you got two over superstars coming together. Yeah, so.
All right. Let's talk some AJ Styles. Let's move on. Let's go to our second topic of the afternoon here, evening, morning, depends on where you are. Should AJ Styles return to TNA? He talked to Chris Van Vliet about potentially returning to TNA. He said, I don't know. I'd like to. I think it'd be fun to do something like that. Like a one-off, I would definitely do it. That's how he said it. I like it. A one-off, I think, is the only option. But Shad, what are your thoughts as far as some TNA crossover involving AJ Styles?
The answer is always yes, hell yes. It needs to happen. Like, the fact that WWE is having a partnership with TNA, AJ Styles is the face. He is a Mount Rushmore of what TNA wrestling is. He is the reason I watched TNA wrestling in them early 2000s, man. Like, the dude is cut from there. He grew into that role. He means so much to the promotion. And now that the fact that we have a bridge that allows you to get him over there while he's still signed to WWE and work there, even if it is a one-off, yes, why wouldn't you? He deserves that, man. AJ Styles, when it's all said and done, is going to be in the conversation of a top 10, top 5 wrestlers of all time. The work that he's done throughout every promotion, whether it be TNA, New Japan, WWE, he's put in so much work. And for him to get an opportunity to go back to where he laid the foundation and created his star power, it has to happen, man. Like, I don't understand. It doesn't, and like, we're seeing the WWE really open its, doors for cross promotion stuff. Natalia's going to be doing Bloodsport. She's going to be doing NWA for the Crockett Cup. you got Karrion Kross doing the indie show for the proceeds going to Chris Bay. And they're not afraid to do that. But it's the fact that this is easier, man. You're already working with these guys. You got Obafemi on the shows all the time. For anybody, for one superstar at least that isn't NXT related, it got to be AJ, man. So I'm begging the good people at WWE, Paul, Nick Khan, Stephanie McMahon. I might have to, send you an email because I think you could get to your husband probably quicker on this. Let that man get a one-off in TNA. Let him wrestle a Moose. Let him wrestle, whoever he want to wrestle, whoever he feels like he wants to wrestle. It's about time, man. So let my guy AJ Styles get that.
No doubt about it, Shoddy. We got a ton of comments to run through here. We've got AJ Styles should return to TNA for maybe a farewell tour, not to retire yet, but maybe just to enjoy being in TNA one final time. From Number One Superfly, yeah, I agree with that. Fernando Zayas said no, AJ should go to AEW and have classics like AJ versus Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega and Swerve.
What
I don't hate the idea, but the contract situation doesn't allow for it.
Exactly. That has nothing to do with.
No, I don't hate the comment though. Fernando's got great comments, and I get we've fantasy booked so many things. I do get where he's coming from, but
I'd like to see that.
We've also got AJ Styles has nothing to prove in TNA. What more does he have to do? He was the original franchise wrestler in TNA forever. Okay, that's fair. MDB, that's from Sean Ellis. MDB 999 or MDB 999 added AJ Styles is the modern version of Shawn Michaels. Okay, that's probably fair, but it's a little late in the career now. I'm not sure. We've got Maria Graciela Sias with AJ Styles going backwards in life and going back to TNA makes no sense. I think for a one-off for nostalgia's sake actually does make sense, but I do hear a bit where you're coming from. But let's talk about some.
1 second.
Go right ahead. Yes. Go right ahead. And then
backwards in life. If y'all watch the interview, it's more so he wants to have one last dance to where he basically became the star that he is today. I don't know if I'm this old compared to y'all in the comment section, but y'all don't remember TNA AJ Styles and how he basically was the one fresh person with a Christopher Daniels, with a Samoa Joe, guys like that, and really made that promotion feel like that alternative that we love to watch, just like how AEW is now. TNA was like that for us during that time frame.
And I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt there, Shad, because Maria usually provides very positive and great comments, and I don't think she meant it like, oh, he's a failure in some way. I think she meant more like, his career is winding down. When it comes to, right, like he's not as quick as he used to be. He's not what he used to be. I think is what the intention was there. But speaking of intention, let's talk about some friends and let's pay some bills real quick. Let's talk about Demand Progress Plus. If you haven't checked it out, use the code WATCHPROGRESS1. You're going to get 50% off your first month of Demand Progress Plus, the home of Progress Defy, and many more promotions. This is one of the most wicked tape libraries on the whole internet. If you haven't checked it out, some of your absolute favorites cut their teeth there. Not only that, the current product, you're going to see a lot of the next generation, and I assure you'll enjoy it. Half off your first month. How about it? Watch Progress 1 is that code. Go ahead and use that. And then more importantly, check this out. Go over to the App Store. You can be early on this one. Download the Itsy app on the App Store or Google Play Store and head to the upcoming stream section every single Sunday. It's me. It's Big Ant. It's Takes. Sometimes we'll see Ben on. There's tons of us, all kinds of different wrestling creators. And here's the best part. When you join, if you just have a phone and you can have a microphone and film yourself, guess what you can do? Jump in for a couple minutes and argue with us about anything you want. John Cena's heel turn, Cody Rhodes, AEW, whatever you'd like. You can jump in the ring with the big guns and it's a good time. Once again, download that Itsy app over on the App Store or Google Play Store. I assure you'll enjoy it. But let's keep today's show rolling, my friends. Let's talk about video games. You know what? Let's make the mood a little happy here, my friends, because who doesn't like a good video game?
Maria, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut up on you. You good?
Yes. No, it's all good. Friend of the show. We're all good, Shotty. But we've got the WWE 2K25 DLC has been announced. And Soul as our best gamer, as far as this chat's concerned, and I know that. I know Shad's good, but when it comes to 2K25, I've seen Soul play. I've played in a Rumble with him. He had an opportunity to eliminate me, and he knew how bad I was at the game. He just didn't and focused on somebody else when we were all playing. Like, Soul's that good at the game. Between him and Chaos, I don't understand how they're so slick to the reversal button. Like, you have no chance. You can't do anything. They're that good at 2K25. I got to give Chaos a shout out there too, because it's two best 2K25 players I've ever played in my life, Shad. We don't want any of that now. In Madden, something else, of course. It's no problem on my end. But when it comes to WWE 2K, this is our expert. We've got this DLC announced. I'm going to read through them really quick for you, Soul. Make this easier on you. We've got the new Wave Pack, which is May of 2025. That's going to be Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, Julia, Stephanie Vauquer, and a special celebrity guest yet to be announced. Could it be Travis Scott? I don't know. We'll think about that. Then we have the Dunk and Destruction Pack, June of 25. Abyss. You gotta love Abyss. Seen a little bit of a TNA theme here. The Great Khali, and then 3 NBA stars to be announced.
Who you think is going to be? I think it's going to be Halliburton and
Halliburton.
Brunson, sure.
I think Halliburton, and who was the second one you said?
Jalen Brunson.
I think Halliburton, Brunson, and then you'll get wasn't there one more that appeared? It's a big WWE guy. Because I'm actually saving you from this, Soul. Once we give it to you, then we can really break this down. But who is the third? It could be Shaq. I mean, that'd be the coolest if they got Shaq. Honestly, that would be the. Well, what if it was like the new team with the ESPN? It's like Barkley, Shaq, and it's not even Halliburton. Okay, we'll leave that there for now.
Shaq is an AEW guy.
As far as we know. The Fearless Pack, July 2025. I think that I can't fathom he's ever been in a video game, but New Jack, posthumously, rest in peace, makes a game for the first time ever. I think that's very cool. And we've got Jordan Grace. This is when you will also be able to get Penta, so you will not have Penta in the game until July. This is a really cool one that I think that they included in Matters. Bull Nakano. What a great get. Bull Nakano, speaking of video game debuts, I mean, also, excellent golfer. As a golfer myself, respectable. And then a special celebrity guest to be announced. This could be Travis Scott. Who knows? Next up, we've got the Attitude Era Superstars Pack, September of 25. D'Lo Brown, Headshake entrance. Billy Gunn, the Road Dogg. And then Victoria, monster shout out Victoria, back in the game. And Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. I'm hoping you end up getting multiple versions of Mark Henry, where you can kind of get House of Pain, maybe, and maybe whether it's a Nation of Domination version or something.
3-6 Mafia theme song, hopefully.
Yes, and then
Not
finally,
yes,
finally, November of 25, we will get the Saturday Night's Main Event Pack, which includes Jesse Ventura, which I'm hoping includes somehow Jesse commentary when you use the Saturday Night's Main Event venue. To me, that's what makes this pack potentially worth it. And then it's Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, Tito Santana, the Junkyard Dog, and Sid Justice. Interestingly enough, Soul, your thoughts on these packs? Who could it be? What are we looking at? Wait. Talk to me about it.
If you could put me on screen, I would.
I thought I did. What is going on with the camera cuts? It keeps messing with me.
Okay, let's talk about the really cool things in this DLC. I think, personally, in my opinion, minus the celebrity and the NBA stuff, I think every DLC pack caters to everyone, and there's a solid get in every pack in it. Let's talk about the two cool things in this first, obviously, is Abyss and New Jack. I would imagine that with Abyss and New Jack, they're the first two wrestlers to ever appear in a WWE game that have never actually physically wrestled a match for the company in my mind. I don't know, I might be wrong, but it is cool, especially New Jack. He is a part of ECW history, tag team champions. He's had some of the craziest matches. He deserves it. You know, whatever you think of the man personally on a level, that's your opinion. But for his accolade sense and importance to ECW, which has been showcased more in the game through my GM, the universe mode, the belts being put back into the game, and some of the stars as well, deserves it. He's going to be great. I wonder which music they'll give him though, because obviously I don't think they can give him the gangster theme because it was a licensed music. So probably just be some generic Death Rebel stuff. But hey, it's interesting. And then Abyss. Obviously, Abyss's actual person, I can't remember his name. I think it's like AJ Parker or something like that. Might be wrong.
Chris Parks, I believe.
Chris Parks, yes, sorry, that's it. Obviously, he's worked as a producer with WWE for a good while, and it shows that he owns the name of that character. So that's fascinating in itself. That's like the thing you should buy this for, just because you get to have Abyss in there. I think celebrities could be the likes of Travis Scott, KSI obviously appeared, is the Prime Bottle. I think that's might gonna be his sort of thing. NBA, I know those two laddies that jumped the ring at WrestleMania 40. I don't know who they are, but maybe they're the ones in it.
Halliburton and Brunson.
They're people cool. Let's talk about the one big thing though. A lot of people are annoyed that there's no Joe Hendry in this. Well, duh, he's a TNA wrestler. Yes, absolutely. They could introduce a TNA pack down the line. They could introduce the Rascals. They could introduce Roxanne. They could, not Roxanne, Master Slamovich. They could introduce Joe. They could introduce Tommy Dreamer. They could do that down the line. You know, TNA, nothing. 2K have released packs that haven't been announced before. Mainly one that comes to mind is obviously the Fiend Immortal pack for 2K24 that had the up-to-date Fiend design from the documentary. So they could do packs that have not been announced. But I don't see why people are annoyed that people who weren't WWE signed in some capacity aren't in a game. They're TNA guys. You know, that's just the way it is. They could do it, but I don't see them as being a focus. Now, yes, of course, the preview image had a NXT arena with fans wearing Joe Hendry merch, but I just imagine they took a screenshot from a random episode of NXT and were like, yeah, just use that. That's what we could do. I think the DLC is fine. I always buy the digital deluxe edition so I can get like the supercharger and all that. So I'm going to get these DLC characters. It's not like it's something I'm going to actively buy each pack. You could do that if you want, but with the digital landscape of, you know, when these games shut down, you lose that digital media. You might as well just own all of it so it's on your hard drive to have. I will say one thing as well, that I don't really care for 2K25 at the moment, in my personal opinion. From a wrestling and video game standpoint, the video game standpoint is these games come out every single year. They really need to have new things to actually make me want to get them. And the two modes I play the most are my GM and Universe mode. Universe mode has some all right new stuff in it, like the 2 nights WrestleMania events. They've added Money in the Bank cash-ins to PLEs now, I believe, as well. They've added in a whole new promo section. But community creations in 2K24 was a disaster. I like to build my Impact or TNA rosters, my AEW rosters, or even some British promotions. I couldn't do that in last year's game because the thing was buggy and didn't work to anything. It was terrible.
Yes.
So if it's still terrible in 2K25, I'm not buying it. I don't need to pre-order it. I can get the deluxe
Fair.
edition at any time. Do I think this DLC is cool? Absolutely. I think a lot of these characters will be amazing. Victoria's a really cool one to have in there as well. And Billy
Amazing.
Gunn as well. Billy Gunn, with being in AEW, like, how's that working? That's interesting to see, at least. Maybe that's hints of what his future contract status is with AEW. I don't know. But at the end of the day, a fine selection of DLC.
It's not bad. I agree. And the Joe Hendry thing, I think, will sort itself out. We've also got Sean Ellis with his Jordan Grace, a DLC character in WWE 2K25. Absolutely. He also said EA Sports make WWE games so great. It's 2K Sports. EA Sports and 2K Sports are huge rivals. All love, my friend. But yeah, no. Don't get me wrong. I love EA. I was playing Chell before this show, but I'm just saying. He also said, Clark, do you think Thunder Rosa is coming to WWE? Not anytime soon, my friend. Absolutely
EA is the cancer on video games.
Why would she? She has a full-time job at Sirius XM and a full-time job wrestling in AEW, and she can't have both in WWE. Why in the world would she go to WWE as a performer? That makes absolutely no sense. But let's preview AEW Dynamite here tonight, guys. We've got three good previews I'm going to break down here. We've got Swerve Strickland and Ricochet with a contract signing for their match at Revolution. I think we've had a contract signing revolution. Speaking of, even though this is for Revolution, which I will be in attendance at Crypto Arena on Sunday night. Check it out. I will be there. We've had a revolution in contract signings lately. It's not just somebody gets thrown through a table or struck with a pen. Like, they're doing a better job with it. And with the Swerve and Ricochet contract signing tonight, I'm actually excited to see what they do creatively. I hope they come up with something clever, something different, something unique. That's just my opinion. We've also got Thunder Rosa, previously mentioned, teaming with Chris Statlander against Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. On paper, I just hope this gets the time, because you have 4 absolute sluggers in the ring. You have, I think, 4 cornerstones of the future of this division that deserve more time and deserve a bigger push, because we need challengers for people like Toni Storm and Mariah May, and of course, Mercedes Moné, the CEO. We've also got the rated R superstar himself, Adam Copeland, Cope, taking on Wheeler Yuta. We'll see how that turns out. Soul, I'm going to go to you first when it comes to this. What are you looking forward to most on tonight's Dynamite?
You want me to be honest?
Yes.
Nothing. I don't think this is a good episode. I don't think this is a good episode of Dynamite at all. Look, I mean, I
just
think
because it's in LA.
No, brother, I love you in LA, of course. Look, I look at this 3-match card, and the only thing out interest is Swerve and Ricochet to see the great promo. Other than that, I don't nothing really sparks it for me. This is bad. Yeah, Cope's going to beat Yuta, or Yuta's going to do a surprise intervention with Mox, and maybe they'll have a bit of disagreement with Yuta and Mox. The women's match is a women's match. I think it'll be great. I like Megan Bayne. I really like Megan Bayne. Thunder Rosa's excellent as well. Obviously, the Riot Cabaret Women's Champion. She's successful in that role. I think they'll do great things, but for me, as someone who lives in the UK, I have to stay up till 1 a.m. That's investment. I'm sorry. And to do that for a show, you need to have my attention. I couldn't stay up for Elimination Chamber because I was sick. I would have stayed up for that whole complete show and loved it because it was amazing, right? I look at this episode of Dynamite and I'm just like, this is bad. This is bad. Your go home show to Revolution, where you have all these stunning matches on it. Why is there no Will Ospreay and Fletcher stuff? Why is there no Kenny Omega and Takeshita stuff? Why is there no further of Mariah May and Toni Storm? Is Collision on this weekend? I don't know. If it is, maybe so they might say some stuff for that. Okay, cool then, interesting. But you should be announcing more stuff when your company isn't in the prime spot that you were and you need attentions. Announce your stuff more regularly, TK. Announce at the end of... remember back in the day when we all made the jokes of Excalibur having to rap like Eminem because he would rap off every single match card? No, it's never too much.
No, I don't think this is the problem here. Soul, hear me out. Soul, hear me out. Because think about it. We've only got 3 things announced. We are going to get those people. Everybody is in Los Angeles. This is the go-home show. We've got Los Angeles on Sunday night. Everyone's going to be there. If you announce everything, there's no surprises. And I actually think the opposite. I think this show is going to surprise. And Fernando Zayas added too. This is a dope go home show. Looking forward to it.
Good for you, Fernando. I think it's absolute ass. I think it's ass.
But they've only announced 3 things for a reason, because it's not only going to be 3 things for 2 hours. That's not possible.
Obviously, but you should announce that so people know what they get. You can't do excitements when you're here right now. You don't have that luxury. Raw and SmackDown and
Kobe
NXT
somehow
as well.
agrees with you. Canadian guy ruins everything.
Even NXT, they could announce one. You could be Raw and announce, Seth Rollins will appear. You'll sell out the building because your product is that hot. AEW needs to actually show what fans are coming into, because people are harped up on about
all kinds of good stuff.
People don't like that. I like Hope, but people don't. People disrespect them by still calling them Edge because they have such a hard on for just being disrespectful. Look, I don't think this is a good episode of Dynamite. I think they should announce more. We should at least have a Hurt Syndicate. Where's the Hurt Syndicate segment? Where's the build all that? Where's the build the trios championships that haven't been done? There's
you know what? I think that we can say this. We don't know everything that's going to be on the show, and we can watch the show, and I guess we can make our overall opinion on it after that, because sometimes it's the shows that you don't expect to be good that end up being good. And, I'm going to give it a benefit of doubt. I don't ever really look into what's being announced too much. I just know I'm going to watch Wednesday night Dynamite. And that's me as a fan. In regards to what you have announced that's on the docket, I'm looking at two matches that really come into interest. And one is Edge Cope versus Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler Yuta is a very underappreciated wrestler when it comes to what he does in the ring. I feel like he may not be the most interesting character-wise. He doesn't have a lot of personality, but he's someone that is going to give you a great TV match. And that's one thing that I was excited for Cope to come in to AEW is shake it up with a lot of these young guys. Give us matches that we'll never get to see. So that might end up being a potential sleeper banger. The tag team match, like y'all mentioned, Thunder Rosa got a point to prove tonight. What happened last week, her being the butt of the joke with the whole chair debacle, she needs to come out and show out and remind people why she is La Mera, why she is talented, why she is a former champion. She needs to cook. That's going to be great. And then last but not least, Ricochet and Swerve. This is one of the best feuds in professional wrestling going in right now. All elements to it. You talk about the story with the robe that Prince Nana has to it. You talk about Swerve trying to get that killer instinct back, wiping away some of that white meat babyface and being a little bit more, bad to the bone, everything that happened with his last feud. But the star of the show is Ricochet. Ricochet has slowly become one of the best heels in professional wrestling, something that a lot of people did not expect to see. A lot of people wrote him off. He kept receipts because a lot of y'all wrote him off thinking he can't do nothing. He can't cut a promo. He is one of the biggest unsung heroes that jumped from WWE, bet on himself to go to AEW. And I don't think we would expect him to be as much of a star he is right now in that exact role. Because everyone was like, oh, he's just coming here to wrestle Will Ospreay so they can do the match. And that's all he's going to do. Oh, it's just a bunch of flippy stuff. Shut up. My man is here.
Not what he did. I could not be more with you on that. Yeah.
Gymnastics, Meltzer.
He's gonna do flips and he's gonna wrestle Will. And that's it.
What's he gonna do after the
only reason he's going to AEW? No, it's stupid. That is ridiculous. Like, it's gonna be awesome.
And when
Maria has faith it's gonna be one of the best dynamites of 2025. Let's go.
Atta girl, Maria. And I don't know if it's gonna happen, but if it happens, if his beautiful wife Samantha Irvin comes to AEW in a prominent wrestling role that isn't an announcer, and y'all get even more mad, oh my God, I'm going to be doing backflips like I was Ricochet in the match from Will Ospreay. Because I love it, man. I love when you bet on yourself and it works out for you. Plus, the guy's an Eagles fan. I gotta rock with him, bro. He had the Super Bowl hat on. I'm sorry, Clark.
100%. It's absolutely fair. But I will say that's going to bring us to the end of today's show. It's been a blast, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, we will be back same time, same place tomorrow, noon Pacific. That's, of course, 3 o'clock over on the East, 8 o'clock in the UK, and 9 a.m. for my friends out in Hawaii. On behalf of me, Shad, Soul, host of the Soul Sessions. I almost said your real name. That was almost a mess up, Soul. That's my bad. We've got Soul, Shad, and Clark. And we appreciate you so much. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do. It means the world to us. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back. Of course, check out everything over on the WR page. Stay tuned. Have an excellent Wednesday night, and we will talk to you soon.